Well, hello YouTubers, gold lovers, Mike here, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 4 of me working with Jason's gold ore. I wasn't expecting it to be this many parts, I figured 2-3 tops, but well, life happens, things get in the way, machinery breaks down, wind up working more days a week than I was expecting, and well, this is just getting drug out to a few weeks, so anyway, we're going to pick up where we left off in part 3, which I'll put a link to in the upper right. Check it out if you haven't already. In fact, maybe I'll combine all these videos into a playlist and link to the playlist so you can start at the beginning if you like. But we're going to pick up where we left off in part 3. Now, in part 3, I had finished crushing all of the ore that I thought looked like it had any chance of having any gold or a lot of sulfides in it. So that got finally done. All right, so here's all our most of the 25 pounds of rock right there. Now I didn't crush all the ore. There's a little bit here that I didn't do because this just looks like either barren quartz with nothing in it or barren wall rock with nothing in it. And I have broken these pieces up. They were considerably larger than this, so I could have a look at the inside of them with my loupe here. And really, I don't see anything in them, although when part 3 came out, people immediately started saying, no, you gotta process all of it. So that might happen, but it's not going to happen in this video. We're going to set this stuff aside, and I want to finish processing what I've already done. So in the last video, all the rock except this little bit right here, which is not quite 5 pounds worth, has been turned into dust in my Smash-O-Matic ore crusher. And then that dust has been run through a sluice. Find out just how much gold there is in this stuff from Jason. And what we've got in here is the remains out of the sluice. Just maybe 2 pans worth of material. Okay, that's it. So hopefully all of the heavy stuff is in here. Now nothing's getting thrown away. I've still got all the material that went through the sluice. I've got that saved. I'm going to do my panning of this stuff in the tub, so nothing's going to get lost. A lot of people seem to be very concerned that when I'm panning or sluicing, stuff is being lost. It's not going anywhere. I've still got all of it. Several people have actually suggested that I should do a heap leach on this stuff with a cyanide or something similar type treatment to see if I can get any more gold out of it. And believe it or not, I had already thought of that. We'll see. That might be an advanced thing for down the road, okay? Because I think I said in an earlier video, what I'm doing with Jason's stuff here is really practice for some other ore I have. I have hundreds of pounds of ore from another mine which I need to process. So I am testing out all of my equipment, all of my techniques with Jason's ore, just to make sure everything's working before I start tackling the ore from this other mine. So that's what we're doing. So it's time to pan out the concentrates in here and see if we can find out how much gold is in it finally. But before we do that, At the end of the last video, we had a look at some little nuggets of kind of golden metal that I found in this stuff. Okay, now I think they might be brass, at least some of them. There might be some lead there too. A lot of other people think they're brass as well. Looking at the photos, I'll give you a look at a close-up photo of this stuff, and tell me what you think. Well, I've taken all those little nuggets and I've put them in this test tube here. Don't worry, I'll give you a close-up look at the process. But all those little nuggets are in the bottom of this test tube. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some nitric acid in this test tube and see what happens. Now, if not a whole lot happens, that means probably gold. If we get a strong reaction and the liquid turns blue, then that's going to tell me this is almost certainly brass. So let's do that test before we start panning, just to see, if this really is brass. I mean, to be perfectly honest to you, it looks like brass to me. And I have found brass in ore from gold mines before. My buddy Jim says it's probably not from blasting caps, and I'll take his word for it because he's been an actual gold miner and I haven't. But somehow there's brass in this stuff. So at least it looks like brass. We'll test it out and see. So let me get set up for that. I'll move the camera so you can get a better view of what's going on, and we'll see just what we got here. All right, so there's the little nuggets in the bottom of the test tube. All right, so let me put a little bit of distilled water in the test tube. Not too much, just a little bit. That should be plenty. Okay, now I've got my homemade nitric acid back here, which I made in another video. I will put a link to that video in the upper right corner. Nitric acid is pretty easy to make. You know how to do it and you have a little bit of equipment. And this is stronger than the 68% azeotrope you can buy. So this is good nitric acid, and like I said, I made it myself, and so can you. It's not hard. So let's put a little bit of nitric acid in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 drops. Oh dear. Oh dear. 12 drops of nitric acid, and we've got a really strong reaction going on in there. There's a lot of bubbling, a whole lot of bubbling. Let me see if I can get you any closer. Yeah. And I do believe the liquid is starting to turn blue. Yes, it is. And we've got evolution of some brown-orange fumes there. So I would say that we probably have brass or bronze there. I'm thinking brass from how bright and shiny it is. Where it came from, I don't know, but that's what it looks like to me. I think, since it's not particularly warm out here, and this reaction might take a while, I'm going to put a little bit more nitric acid in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, look at the reaction go. 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe a little more. And we're just going to let this go while I pan out the concentrates. Oh yeah, this is really reacting strongly. We've got fumes coming out the top here. Oh yeah. But we'll just let that react while I pan out the concentrates, and we'll see if there's anything left. Maybe they're not all brass. Some of them did look slightly different in color. So maybe there is some gold there, maybe not. But we'll let it go. But yeah, my first instinct was that they were brass, and it sure looks like that's exactly what they are. The copper from the brass is turning the liquid blue, and the vigorous reaction is coming from the copper and the zinc. So, okay, I will set that aside, and we'll let it do its thing, and we will start panning out the concentrates. All right, first thing I want to do is dump the excess water off of this material. We'll dump it right into the panning tub here. There is more material in there than I was expecting. A lot of stuff stayed in the sluice. So we might have a couple pans worth of stuff here. All right, well, not really a problem. We'll just get her done. Okay, before I get started, I'm going to put a little more jet dry in here. Some of this water is recycled from the sluice, but some of it is fresh. Got my loop, got my snuffer bottle, suck up any gold we find in, sulfides. Got my favorite pan for dealing with concentrates here. And I have my clip-on macro lens for my phone. So we'll get a good look at anything that we find. Grab my scoop here. Oh yeah, there's actually a fair amount of material in this bucket. Maybe a pan and a half or 2 pans worth. All right. The sluice held on to a lot of stuff. Let me zoom the camera in. Okay. Now, in the last 2 videos where I've been panning out Jason's ore, I keep getting comments that I'm panning way too fast. You're panning way too fast. I gotta tell you, I pan slower than a lot of people. Yeah, I'm out on the creek panning with other people. I'll be the slowest one for sure, generally. Unless my wife's there, because she's a bit of a newbie. It takes her a while to work down a pan, but you know, if you do it right, you can be fairly quick. You know, I am not in a rush here. These are concentrates. I don't want to lose anything. On the other hand, there's still a lot of material here that just needs to be panned away. That sluice held on to a lot of stuff. So any gold in here is going to be underneath all that stuff after all the agitation I've been doing. It's down in the bottom of the pan somewhere. We're just going to wash everything off the top of it. I'll find my mining magnet too, because I'm sure we caught the steel as well as everything else. So let me get the steel out of here. Once I get a little bit more of this lightweight sand off the top. Oh yeah, starting to see sulfides. Yeah, all right. Let me find my mining magnet and we'll get rid of the steel in here. And then pan down to the sulfides and the gold. Okay. Oh yeah, holy moly. Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's a lot of steel. And like I said in my previous videos, I like to pick it up and then drop it, because I'll pick up a lot of other stuff along with the steel. But if I drop it again, it lands on top of everything else, and then I can pick it up kind of free of anything. I don't want to drag any gold out, for sure. Oh my goodness gracious. My poor Smash-O-Matic is really trying to self-destruct, isn't it? That is a lot of steel coming out of there. Alright, pretty clean looking steel. Hoping there's some serious gold in there along with all this steel. I think I'm probably going to have to make a new set of hammers for the Smash-O-Matic pretty soon. based on the amount of steel I am seeing in this pan. That's a little better. Okay. Yeah. That's a little better. Okay. Now we got a lot of the steel out of the way. Let's pan this stuff down to gold and sulfides. Oh, the sun's coming out. It's been gloomy all day. That's great, because if we do get some good stuff in the pan, I'll be able to take it out in the sun and give you a good look at it. I was afraid that as gloomy and dark as it's been all day, you wouldn't be able to see a lot of the gold under the lab lights here once I panned it out, but might just be able to get a good look at it if the sun stays out. I am slowing down and being less aggressive as we're getting down to it here, so don't panic, guys. Don't panic. And of course, I'm panning into a tub. I can repan everything in this tub if I feel like I'm missing stuff. And if I feel like the sluice missed a lot of stuff, well, I've got a whole bucket full of tailings I can rerun through it. Or pan out when I've got some free time. Either way, nothing is getting lost. Some of those comments, you act like, oh, it's gone forever. You've lost it. It's still here. Nothing has been lost. All right. Let's see what we can see into this last little bit of blonde sand here. Some dark sulfides, some golden sulfides. Clean this up a little bit here. Yeah, see, that's mostly sulfides there. I don't know if it's showing up on the video, but they are glittering from their cubic faces. Probably a lot of iron pyrite in here. Oh, I'm starting to see gold. Right at the top of the line of pyrite there. There's gold. Okay, I'm going to have to re-stratify this stuff. Try and get that gold down at the bottom. Not easy because pyrite is pretty darn dense too. And well, I want to keep the pyrite as well. But it would be nice to see the gold in here underneath it. There's some more of this blonde sand. Oh, that is solid pyrite right there. That is all pyrite. Let me get rid of this stuff, and we'll see if we can separate the gold and the pyrite. Not that I'm going to throw the pyrite out. I think I'm going to attempt smelting it and see if we get the gold out of it. But let's move it to the bottom of the pan here and see if we can get a look at the gold hiding in here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think there's a fair amount of gold in this pan. Small, not chunky. I think there's a fair amount of it. It's just a matter of getting all these sulfides out of the way. I don't want to move. If I'm too aggressive with it, I'll spread the gold out. I'm going to do that. Something besides gold in here, too. This is something I've seen before. Where's my loop? It's something besides gold there. And it's clearly not steel because I've already sucked it up. Or pulled it out with my magnet. There's something there. Like, we got some wire. There's some copper wire. Maybe from Jason's blasting. And there's some kind of shiny wire. Shiny silvery wire. I don't know. Don't know where that would have come from. Finding some interesting stuff in this. I suppose it could be, maybe not a wire, maybe it's a sliver of steel that's come out of the Smash-O-Matic or something. I don't know if it's showing up. It's right there. Get a better look at it here now. Yeah, I think it's a sliver of steel. I suspect, anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of sulfides in here. There's a lot of gold too. All that around the top there, that's gold. There's a few larger pieces. Not huge. Not getting rich. But hey, we're having some fun and getting to use all my toys anyway, without having to lug them miles into the wilderness. Oh wow, yeah, there is a lot of gold in there. There is a lot of gold in there. All right, let me try and clean this up a little bit better. Get the gold to where it's easier to see out from under the sulfides. And I'll go out. Of course, the sun's going behind the clouds again, but it's brighter than it was. I will try and get you a close-up look at this with my snazzy new clip-on macro lens for my phone. Seemingly on cue, the sun's coming back out. Focus. There we go. Look at that gold. Look at that gold. There's a chunk of copper wire. I don't know if Jason was using copper wire to set off his explosives or not. But the line of gold goes all the way back here behind these sulfides, along the whole length of the back of the pan there. That is a fair amount of gold. There's a few chunky pieces there too. I wouldn't quite call them pickers. But yeah, there's a fair amount of gold there. So let me take this back over the panning station. I'm going to suck up all this gold and all these sulfides into the snuffer bottle for safekeeping. All right, sweet. We got a lot of gold in the pan. I'm happy about that. I'm going to suck up everything in the pan here, all right? Gold, sulfides, especially the gold, of course. Sorry for bumping the tripod there. Yeah, I think I can get all this in one more pan. All right, we may have lost a bit of footage there. I had to change the camera battery out. But basically, I'm just cleaning the bucket out here, getting the last little bit of stuff out of the bucket into the pan. Because this is probably really good stuff down here in the bottom of the bucket. Okay, so let's pan this stuff down. Yeah, a lot of questions and comments came out of the first two videos, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more coming out of this one. Some of them I think I might need to address in a separate video on this subject, just to keep this from getting too lengthy. Don't have enough material to pan out to really jawbone at length and answer a lot of your comments, questions. I mean, one thing that did come up over and over again, and I will mention, is that people are saying, oh, there's not that much gold here. This is Jason's waste rock. This is his seconds. This is not the good stuff. Well, he's selling it 25 pounds for $75, and you know it's make offer. I'll let you in on a little secret. I didn't pay $75 for my 25 pounds of rock. Okay, I made him an offer that I felt was a little more reasonable, and he accepted it. So, if he's selling his rock 25 pounds for $75, I'm not expecting there to be hundreds of dollars of gold in it. And there's a lot of steel there. I mean, Jason is not that poor of a businessman that he's going to sell ore with hundreds of dollars of gold in it for $75, okay? I bought this stuff expecting it would have some gold in it. I bought it expecting to have a little bit of fun, panning and sluicing it out, crushing it up, testing out all my equipment, which, by the way, all this equipment, from the Smash-O-Matic, the Mighty Mill, the Sluice, is all purchased for another project, or all created for another project. And Jason's stuff just came along at the right time to give it all a good, thorough test. So, I'm basically doing this for fun and to work the bugs out of my own equipment. I don't expect to find hundreds of dollars of gold in here. I'm not going to be disappointed if I don't find hundreds of dollars worth of gold in here. I'm not even going to be upset if I don't get my money back. So, and for all you people who are saying, oh, Jason's keeping the good stuff and selling the seconds or his waste material, well, I don't know. That's something, only Jason knows. But, hey, it was my mine, and I was digging in there, blasting, mucking, hauling. I might tend to keep some of the good stuff for myself, too, since I'm doing all the work. But he's letting the rest of us have some fun. So, what's really to complain about? Especially you guys who are just watching me do it. I don't understand all the complaining. It's my money that got spent on this, and you're getting some free entertainment. All right. That's about enough whinging about that. We'll handle some more comments and suggestions, concerns, criticisms in another Q&A session, which we'll have sometime soon. Yeah, there's a lot of sulfides in here again. I don't know what this white stuff is. Huh, a piece of plastic. I don't know where that came from. I guess there could be multiple sources of plastic. Yeah, once again, we've got a great big pile of sulfides up here. Let me get rid of most of this blonde sand, and then I'll start walking the sulfides back away from what's no doubt a nice line of gold underneath them. Oh yeah, look at the sulfides. I don't know how well that's showing up, but boy, that's a pile of sulfates, and boy, are they sparkly too. Just so sparkly. No wonder they call that stuff fool's gold. Pyrite tends to form little flat-faced cubes, and they can really reflect the light back at you in your pan. Looks like there might be some more wire in there. No, yeah, I get some more copper wire in there. Wow, getting a lot of copper wire in this stuff. Leave a comment if you've processed any of Jason's ore. Let me know if you're seeing copper wire in it too. So I see probably at least 2 more pieces in here. Yeah, I'm starting to see the gold along the top of the sulfides there. I know there's more of you out there doing this because last time I checked, he'd sold over 600 packages of ore on eBay alone. You might be selling them other places too, for all I know. So yeah, let me know your experience with this stuff. Are you seeing the copper wire? Are you finding enough gold to keep you interested? Let me know. Let me have a look at this. My loot. Yeah, definitely some wire in there. Yeah, we're starting to expose the gold pretty well, though. I'll take it out in the, well, now muted sunlight again and try and give you a look at it here in a minute. I'll try and clean it up a little bit better. Okay, once again, right on cue, the sun has come out. Mother Nature's being uncharacteristically cooperative today. Yeah, I hope that gold is showing up in there. There is a fair amount of gold in this pan. And there's probably more of it hiding under these sulfides, which I'm not trying to separate the gold from the sulfides too hard because I'm going to suck them both up. So, but yeah. Okay. Go back over to the panning station and get it all sucked up. Okay, I had another idea. Instead of sucking all this up right away, let's just have a look at all of the gold I got from Jason's ore here. Let me see if I can get... There's a lot of sulfides in here too, so... Alright, that looks like... I'll do some more down at the bottom here. Alright, that looks pretty good. But I will try to get a nice line of all this gold together and show you what I got. Alright? Let me see if I can do that. Oh yeah, this pan is now just full. Absolutely full of sulfides. Alright, so let me pan this back. I'm already starting to see a line of gold around the top. Let me pan this back, walk the gold up, walk the sulfides back, and we'll take a look at it out in the sun while the sun decided to stay shining. Alright, check it out. We got quite a line of gold. Goes all the way across the back of the pan. One side to the other. There's still a lot of sulfides in there. There's a lot of gold hiding under those sulfides. There's some gold out in front of the sulfides here. There's a chunk right there. Got some wire in here. Let's see, I saw another piece of wire. Where is it? Hard to find with the macro. There it is. Copper wire. But yeah. Alright. So, that's basically the bulk of the gold that I got out of Jason's stuff here in the pan. I'm sure there's some down here in this other stuff that, you know, I need to suck up with the rest of these sulfides. And we'll find out the exact amount when I smelt this stuff, which I think I'm going to have to do to make sure I get all the gold out of these sulfides. But that's a pretty pan. That's a fair amount of gold. I'm liking that amount of gold. I'm happy. Well, there we go. I got it all safely sucked up in my snuffer bottle, ready for smelting. Alrighty. Now that I've got that all panned out, let's have a look at our science experiment over here and see what we've got. Look at this in the light. Well, that is an interesting result. I was not expecting that. Um, all the nuggets dissolved except one, and the one that didn't dissolve is the one I was most sure would. So that is an interesting result. Let me dump this out, and I'll dump it out in this little green pan so we can take a better look at it, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll have to remember that this pan contains nitric acid now, not water. Let me give you a close-up look. So the only nugget that didn't totally dissolve was the thing I thought was lead and was fairly certain would dissolve away in nitric acid. So it's not lead, and well, it wasn't attracted to a magnet, so it's not mild steel. I think it's too dense to be aluminum. Aluminum's pretty resistant to nitric acid. I think it must be stainless steel. Somehow, a little bit of stainless steel got mixed in with Jason's ore. I don't know how, where it could have come from. Nothing stainless in the Smash-O-Matic, so that's all mild steel or hardened steel. So I don't know where that came from. Leave a comment. Let me know where you think some stainless steel could have come from in Jason's ore. All right. Interesting result. Not what I was expecting. But yeah, there was nothing but brass there, unfortunately, besides whatever this thing is. It's all gone. All totally dissolved. Well, okay. No nuggets for me, unfortunately. So all I've got is one, borderline specimen grade piece of rock with some nice gold in it. And whatever gold is in this snuffer bottle sucked up from panning out Jason's ore. So, like I said up front, people want me to do all of the rock, but we're not going to do that in this video, maybe not in this series. I've got other stuff I need to do. But sooner or later, we may get to that other rock, run it through. Maybe I'll do a quick update video after I run it, and we'll see if I get any more gold out of it. So that's a possibility. But what I want to do next is I want to get the gold out of here. Plus, any gold that's locked up in the sulfides that I sucked up in here, because I sucked up all the sulfides with the gold. So I need to smelt the contents of this snuffer bottle. Okay. I am going to watch Jason's videos and write down his flux recipe. If any of you out there have any good ideas, Jim, you feel free to chime in too. You've done this for a living. Let me know what a good flux recipe is. There's not a whole lot of material here, so I should be able to do it in a small crucible. So, yeah, and we'll smelt it. We'll melt it down. We'll pour it into a cone mold. We should get a button, and we put that button in my capelling furnace and capel away the lead, and we'll see how much gold is left. That should be interesting. But it's getting late in the day, so that isn't happening today, and I got to go to work tomorrow, so it ain't happening tomorrow. So I guess it will be in a future video, hopefully not too far down the road. So, hey, thanks for watching this video. If you found it all interesting, educational, informative, whatever, give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to see my future videos, including where I smelt this and capel it down to see how much gold it actually contains, and other videos coming down the pike. And check out my two other channels, Electro Geek 64 and Mike's Lapidarian Fossils. Good stuff going on those channels as always. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye.